On this show, we cover some sensitive topics.
Though the obituaries may be outlandish, the people are real.
Names have been changed or omitted in order to respect both the deceased and the survived by.
While death is no laughing matter, some petty last words can provide some pretty entertaining comic relief.
Welcome to Obituary. Welcome back to Obituary. I'm Spencer Henry.
And I'm Madison Reyes.
And we are struggling.
We feel terrible.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Well, Spencer, how is your mouth?
Oh my God, the numbness is starting to go away. I did have a surprise root canal this morning.
Oh, my God.
Well, it wasn't entirely a surprise. Like, I knew it was coming because I went to the dentist.
You were hoping for it.
Yes, we manifested this root canal,
Yes.
you guys, because I had an appointment for a consultation for a root canal today, and I was on the phone with Madison last night. I was like, girlie, please let them just be like, we can just do it right now.
Like, who prays for a root canal? I don't know, but we were praying.
I was like, please just let them do it because that way I can just get it over with. And you were feeling not so hot yesterday, but today you're feeling a little bit better.
I think I'm on the tail end of whatever this is.
You had like a nightmare cold for a couple days.
I was out.
Oh my.
No COVID, thank God, but it took me out. And I was telling you, because I started feeling better, and I was like, who knew that a good night's sleep and taking vitamins and vitamin C and everything, like I woke up like, oh, wow.
You were like, wow. So hydrating and getting a good sleep benefited me?
Oh, whoa.
Oh, no.
Now that is crazy. Now I feel like I'm not contagious anymore. That's why we're sitting here.
We'll see.
We'll see. Now it's just all coming out.
Wonderful. But we'll make sure to edit out any gross noises for you.
Yes.
Yeah, we're just a little bit of a mess today, so forgive us. But of course, in true Madison and Spencer fashion, we're like talking last week. Like, we record ahead of time a few weeks so that if we need to take a week off or whatever. But like, here I am earlier today. Madison's like still feeling like shit. I literally could not talk earlier without sounding like Cindy Brady.
Yes.
And we're like, should we still record? Yeah, I still want to talk about what I want to talk.
No, absolutely. I mean, come on. This is the behind the scenes,
We're
you guys.
coming to you guys from the trenches today.
Yes, truly.
Whatever. It's always weird getting sick now, too, because, I mean, knock on wood, but I haven't really been sick in a couple of years. It's because I feel like we've been masking everywhere and washing our hands so much that, like, we didn't even get the regular colds and flus the past couple of years. So it's so weird when you get something now because it's like, what is it? And, I mean, you guys already know I had Madison test as soon as she got here. I had her.
Yes.
We
I've
tested
taken a
leading up
few
to
this
it.
week. Yes.
Uh-huh.
But you know what? For me, every year around this time, I get something. Remember last year I had kind of the same thing.
You went to urgent care because you had like this weird sinusy. I think you just get like a really bad sinus infection almost.
I know.
I gave you that juice and it cleared you out.
Cleared me out.
I love just a good pressed juice, but it can't be pre-packaged fresh juice. It has to be like coming from a juicery and it has to be like fresh ginger, fresh everything.
Yes.
Really
Actually,
give you that burn.
Burn me alive, please.
Wait, also, I have to tell this story here. I posted it on a reel on Instagram, and I keep doing this thing where I accidentally remove it from the main page, but it's still on the reel page, and you can't put it back. I don't know what I'm doing on reels at all. Shouldn't be on there, but I fully this afternoon posted one of me talking, explaining this story. So if you want to hear what I sounded like earlier, it's on there on my Instagram. But I told the story because when I was at the root canal place, the lady who was like cleaning me up afterwards, she's like, okay, we have to take a second x-ray. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. She like leaned me back, but she like pet the top of my hair.
Oh my.
And I was like, oh, okay.
I feel like it's
She was like, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I did that or whatever. And I was like, oh no, like it's fine. Pet
It's
me.
a nurturing human nature thing, and I think it's sweet.
Well, you know what? We need people like that in these positions because I don't know if any of you have ever had family members who are sick or in the hospital for something. When you have a bitchy nurse or something, it's like, why the fuck are you doing this?
The worst.
Like, everyone has their bad days, sure, but it's like, if you're in that field, you have to be nice. I wouldn't be a nurse because I'm not a very patient person.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you have to be so patient and nurturing.
I feel like I could be.
You could be. You're a very patient person. We also decorated for Halloween together.
We did. We went to 8 different stores.
8 stores, you guys. You would not believe it. And none of them had what I was looking for, which were these little pumpkin lights. I have the ones I want in my head. And I don't know.
Well, what is it with this neutral? I mean, it's very cute. It's aesthetically
this
pleasing.
Hearth and Home, Magnolia, whatever, fucking neutral ass Halloween. Keep it. I don't want it. It's fine. It's fine for some people, but I love a classic Halloween. Give me the orange. Give me the vampires. Give me
the green.
Oh.
Give me the ghosts. Give me the ghouls.
Show
Give
me
the
Frankenstein.
goblins.
You think
Show me Frankenstein. Show me black cats.
Oh.
Show me zombies. Show me skeletons hanging from a roof.
We don't want the beige. We don't want the neutrals. We don't
No.
want the tans. Give us traditional Halloween or give us nothing.
I want fake blood. I want tacky.
I want spider webs. And I don't want aesthetic spider webs. I want spooky spider webs with little plastic fucking spiders crawling up them. Sorry, environment. Sorry, environmentalists, cancel me. I want the plastic spiders.
Once a year, please.
Let me do it. I recycle.
Please. I want a fog machine.
Ooh, baby, some
Okay.
dry ice.
I want a fog machine.
Oh, I love it.
I want fake blood.
Mmm.
Fake teeth.
You know what? I can give you my facial steamer and you can just plug it in by your front door. That puts out the steam.
I'm going to sit over it.
Oh, God. It's steamed clams.
Steamed little clammy clam.
Like on the Mr. Eyes clam bake. We're disgusting, but it's October, so we can be gross now.
Their true form.
Oh, please. Yeah, we're just coming into our final form. So it was really fun getting to run around and go to all the stores. I feel like World Market always comes through Cost Plus with like the best decorations, in my opinion.
Not this year.
They had a decent amount. And I do actually have to, I think, go back because I think it's them. Olivia, my sister, got this little black bat doormat, and it's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Ooh.
And I didn't see it while we were there.
And for you guys that don't know, Hot Dog resembles a bat.
Oh, she is of the bat family.
She is.
Cutest little bat I ever did see. She has bat wings.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Speaking of bats and flying, see what I did there?
Uh-huh.
We got sent this a lot, and this woman from the grave just turned it out. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, girly.
First of all, in this article from Yahoo News, it says businesswoman Michelle Newman, also known as Michelle DeRees, was much loved on the Gold Coast. She recently lost her battle with cancer at age 63. She hired one of those planes to fly over her funeral that has like a thing
The
attached.
banners.
The banner.
Oh my God, I love it. What'd it say?
It said, "I'm watching you. Try harder, M." Are you kidding me?
Cry harder. I fucking love that.
I love that. I think it oddly brings comfort to the mourners.
Oh, for sure, because I guarantee they all had a good laugh at that. And it reminds me, remember the Irishman who put the little speaker thing in his coffin that
Yes.
was like, help, get me out of here.
I love it. It's all a joke. I mean, it's not a joke. Death is horrendous. It's scary.
But it doesn't have to be,
But
baby.
it doesn't have to
Welcome
be.
to death comedy.
Oh,
I love it.
I loved it.
I would do something like that. I could see myself doing something like that. Like, I feel like I get so much joy out of making people laugh in real life that I would love to have one final hurrah.
I would love, I think, to pull a prank and have like the funeral home, because you know I'm going to want an open casket.
Oh, baby. Shoes on or off?
Well, I think it'd be funny to like accidentally have them slam the thing shut on like my leg, but it's like a fake leg, and just have it like hanging out.
I'll do it. If I live longer than you, I'll make sure this happens.
But I have an email that I've been dying to read and I've been dying to tell you about, but I was like, I'm going to save it for the show. It's not necessarily death related.
Okay.
Well, there's a funeral in it, so I take that back. But the main thing isn't. Okay, remember when you told that story on here about how your mom was like vacuuming and she like something happened and she was telling...
she hit her head and she was telling me and my sister, yelling at us, turn it off, about the TV. But we thought she was saying turn it up for some reason because we were kids and idiots. And so we like turned up the TV and she had like knocked herself out vacuuming.
Oh my God. Well, this is a similar story, okay?
Okay.
Hi, Madison and Spency. John here. I am a hardcore Geoff and cult babe from Nova Scotia. I run my own quilting business and love listening to you guys while I sew. Please send the biggest kisses to Hot Dog, Desi, and Doris. I just listened to the episode of Obituary when Spencer was talking about his mom yelling to turn the TV off, and he kept turning it up. Reminded me of a story you may appreciate. Feel free to share. About 15 years ago, my grandfather passed. It was the day before his funeral, and my house was aflutter with preparations. My mother decided she wanted to dye her hair before the event and enlisted my father to help her. Now, it is important to note that my father is completely deaf. Well, was deaf. He now has a cochlear implant that enables him to hear, but at the time, stone deaf. Those are incredible.
Yeah.
It was the time we, in the hair dyeing process, rinse out the goop. There was a stall shower in the bathroom with a detachable shower head. All of a sudden, we hear my mother screaming, "Help me! Help!"
What happened?
My sisters and I run to the bathroom. Picture it. My mom, fully clothed, not important, but she would be mortified if people thought she was naked. On all fours, head in the stall shower. My dad is straddled over my mother's torso, his hand on her back holding her still, nozzle in hand, leisurely rinsing her hair. I'm picturing it right now. She's yelling, "Stop! Help!" Her legs kicking behind her out of my father's line of sight. And again, he's deaf and can't hear her screams. As it turns out, he was unaware the hot water knob was accidentally hit on full blast and was rinsing her hair with what can only be described as hell water.
Oh my God, no.
It burns. It's too hot. Again, my father blissfully unaware. My sisters and I couldn't help but lose our shit at the sight, and we were laughing so hard we could barely intervene to save our mother from what is probably akin to some crazy medieval torture ritual. My elderly sister even snapped a picture of the event to my mother's chagrin.
Elderly or elder?
My elder sister even snapped a picture of the event to my mother's chagrin. Photo has disappeared, although I have theories my sister was paid off to delete it. Of course, my mother was fine. My dad felt awful, but we all had a good laugh that was very much needed at a time of mourning. Needless to say, my father was booked for his cochlear implant surgery the following month.
Oh, that's what did it.
That is what did it. Feel free to share, and I'd die for a shout out to my mom, Teresa. She's truly a gem.
Hi, Teresa.
Hi, Teresa. She has also recently let herself go gray. I can't help but think this trauma had something to do with it.
I don't blame her.
Peace and love, your Canadian Geoff and cult babe John. P.S. If you read this in an episode, I can't wait to hear Madison try to pronounce cochlear. Well, honey, I think I did it.
Oh,
right?
I think so.
It's like something so different.
Cochlear or something. I don't know. Oh, that's amazing. I love it. I love hearing stories like that.
I love it. That is hilarious. I remember there was someone in my family who was super pregnant, and her husband had like strained something in his back while he was in the bathtub, and he needed help getting out. And she was pregnant. She's like, "I can't help you get out." So she like stood over the bathtub and was like, just grab onto my neck like a crane and just had to like pull him up.
Oh my God. I love it. Just the best. I have some assholes for us.
Ooh,
We're just going to
let's
keep
hear
it moving.
Keep it
We're
moving.
going to keep it moving today. This says, am I the asshole for confronting my father about a funeral speech? My 18-year-old female, father, 49-year-old male, and I both did a speech at my grandma's funeral, his mom. There was family on Zoom watching, and we were told they really liked my speech. This made me happy because I wanted to do my grandma justice in speaking about the way that she lived. My father kept saying, "Looks like you had the favorite speech to me," numerous times, and I did not know how to take it.
What?
And even once told him it wasn't a competition. He was persistent, however. When it was him and I alone in the living room, he told me, "I think you had the favorite speech because they hadn't seen you in a while and was expecting me to do well." I didn't know how to take this, and it made me upset because it made me feel like he was making this a competition. When the rest of my family came in, he said almost sadly, "Looks like you had the favorite speech again."
What?
My mom then told him it was because they haven't seen me in a while, and I was a little shocked and upset. Later, I confronted him, telling him I didn't appreciate him making it out to be a competition, and he whirled around and yelled at me, saying he would never, before storming off after I wouldn't cave.
Your dad is drama.
A teenager, it sounds
Teenage
like.
drama queen.
He then apologized, saying he would never, and he was so proud of me, and it's hard for me to believe some part of him didn't mean what he said in that way. I felt humiliated after because I felt like maybe I made it all up in my head, and I was embarrassed because I didn't want my grandpa and mom to think poorly of me. Am I the asshole?
No, your dad is drama.
Drama dad.
A little manipulative.
Oh, good. I mean, he's grieving. We'll give him that. He's probably in a space of grief. But it's also like, why are you in a weird competition? Like, I'd be proud of my child if people were complimenting their speech. I'd be like, wow, that's so wonderful that you gave my mom such an honorable speech.
Send off. Yeah. Absolutely. Weird.
And I don't even know how you could think of it. Because, like, in that space of grief, I'm like, how are you even thinking or really comprehending other people's speeches? It's like weird. Issues.
I mean, we all got them.
We'll wait for this one. This next one says, am I the asshole for refusing to give my sister her share of inheritance after she insulted my grandmother? Me and my sister, 21-year-old female and 24-year-old female, lost our parents when I was 2. We were raised by our grandparents. Grandfather died when I was 12. I don't even remember my parents. Things were fine until my sister came out as bisexual a few years ago. We have had a lot of encounters with LGBTQ people in my lifetime, and I have never seen my grandma act anything less than supportive. I guess it's the typical, I don't mind gay people as long as they aren't in my family kind of homophobic. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Things went downhill fast between them. My sister had a serious girlfriend, and my grandma kept trying to get my sister to date a guy because it's not like you don't have a choice like a lesbian. You can choose a guy, can't you?
Oh, Lord.
God, the ignorance. Me and my sister tried to get her to understand, but she just wasn't understanding. A year ago, my grandma's health started deteriorating. She passed away a few months ago. She saved up a lot of money for me and my sister. From what she worked, my grandpa's life insurance, she sold the farm as she couldn't take care of it when she got old.
And bought the farm.
Yeah. A few days after she died, me and my sister found out that grandma left me like 90% and her 10%.
Oh, the grandma is drama also.
Petty ass grandma. I told her that I will give her an equal share despite what the will said, which is super honorable.
Yes, and for the love of God, I mean, money is the root of all evil for a lot of different things, right? Jesus, okay.
At the funeral, my sister made a big stink. She got drunk and she got up on the stage and gave a long speech about how awful my grandmother was for not accepting her and how selfish she was.
Oh, man.
She even said that she was such a bad person that no one should cry for the loss of such a horrible person.
Oh, boy.
I mean, well, let's get through this. But she raised us. Minus the last few years, she's been loving, kind, and supportive. Instead of celebrating her life, my sister decided to tarnish my grandma's funeral. Even though there was a part of her I didn't like, it doesn't mean that everything was unlikable about her. I refused to talk to my sister after that, and a few weeks ago, she called me asking about the inheritance. Edit, she got 10%. She was calling about the remaining 40%. I pretty much told her that since grandma was such a bad person, she shouldn't dirty her hands with the money that was earned and saved by her. My sister got pissed off, and she told me that I am just trying to steal her money and that I'm a liar because I promised, and now I'm going back on my word. I just hung up on her. Am I the asshole?
Oh my God, this sounds like a movie that I want to see.
The drama.
The drama.
Like, first of all, fuck the grandma for being homophobic. I mean, like, honestly, like, if there's a but, like, she was so good to my sister, but
Right.
that she was homophobic and
She was
non-supportive of her.
accepting,
But
yeah.
it's like, fuck you. That said, I don't think it's appropriate that the sister went up on stage during the funeral
No.
and was like, she's such an asshole. I mean, it's fine if she did a little speech and said, unfortunately, she wasn't able to support me in the last few years, but I know and I hope that one day she would have come around. Or like something.
I know.
But you didn't need to just go on this tangent. So I get the sister's probably defensive over the grandma
Right.
who raised them.
But I think everybody's in the wrong. Grandma, her time's over, but she was in the wrong.
Oh, she's cooked.
The sister was in the wrong. We get it. She was hurt. Get a little revenge. Do that at the funeral. But then also the other sister for hanging money over the other sister's head.
You know it's going to create a problem. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Like, you know it's going to create issues. You know it's going to create a problem. Fuck the grandma also for being like, I'm giving you 90% and giving your sister 10%.
Drama.
Horrible.
She is a drama queen. If I were the counselor,
Uh-huh.
I would say, sister with the 90%, you need to split up that money and give your sister the remaining.
Like you said you would.
Like you said you would, and the right thing.
So yeah, I think it's the right thing to do. Like, right the wrong that your grandma did. Because she sounds like she's accepting of her sister. Make right what your grandmother made wrong.
Right.
Case closed. That money's not going to be here forever, but your sister will be throughout your life. So I would try and make that right versus holding that money over her head.
Right. Just a bunch of assholes today.
Well, do you have a side bitch for us?
I sure do. I thought I'd get into the Halloween spirit.
Ooh.
I know we have talked about Houdini a lot
Yes.
on the show, but I thought that I would read Mrs. Houdini's obituary.
Haven't heard from her.
Haven't heard from her really. A little bit, not really. Mrs. Houdini dies. Never got message. Los Angeles, February 12th. Mrs. Beatrice Houdini, 69, has passed into the realm from which she waited 10 years in vain for a spirit message from her husband, the famous Harry Houdini. Death came last night aboard a train at Needles, California, a few hours after she left here for her New York home. Mrs. Houdini, in an interview February 4th from her bed in a rest home, disclosed that she had grown to doubt immortality and that she long ago gave up hope of communication after death. Whoever says they have communicated with my spirit after my death will be lying, she declared. I will not come back even if I have the power. I love that.
Love it.
Mrs. Houdini, ill several months from a heart ailment and too weak to walk, was carried aboard the train on a stretcher yesterday. Her compartment had been fitted with an oxygen tank and mask to help sustain her during the journey. She weighed only 77 pounds. My God, put your weight in an obituary? That's a whole new thing. Mrs. Houdini, when 17, married the locksmith who was to become a famous magician and, in later life, a student of spiritualism who devoted much effort toward discrediting fraudulent seers and clairvoyants. He died in 1926 after making a pact with his wife to attempt to reach her from the spirit world, which we've gone over in previous episodes. So go listen. For 10 years, she held seances on the anniversary of his death and always kept a light burning over his picture in her home. The final seance was held in 1936, after which she abandoned all effort to communicate with him. 10 years is long enough to wait for any man, she said.
We agree.
I love that that's the ending.
Oh, I'm not waiting for anyone.
No.
Oh, that's it? That's the ending?
That's the ending.
Oh, I fucking love it.
10 years is long enough.
Did you know? So I have an episode either coming out or it's out by now about Sarah Winchester. Did you know that Harry Houdini actually went to the Winchester mansion
And what'd he do?
after she died? Because he wanted to, check it out.
He was after fraudulent people.
Uh-huh. Well, you'll have to listen to the episode to find out what he did.
Well, okay. I'm going to go listen.
Listen, honey, we're plugging. All right. Well, that was amazing. And we're going to take a quick break so Madison can cough and I can ice this tooth of mine, and we'll be right back.
And we're back. Spencer, what's got you spinning?
Oh, honey, I was drilling in my coffin this week.
Were you stuck?
I was stuck. Get me out of here.
Oh, no.
I thought I'd really play up my dental woes this week.
Okay.
Yes, and so I'm coming to us with some scary tooth truths.
Ooh.
I know, after I went to the dentist last week, I was like, I'm gonna do something teeth related. The history of the use of human teeth and the demand for it is actually fucking terrifying.
Okay.
Teeth freak me out. There's something weird about it.
Oh, I love them. I
Oh.
keep them all.
I know you too. But even dreams about teeth are always so scary.
They're always falling out.
Always falling out. Doesn't it mean something though? Like money's coming or something?
When teeth fall out?
Yeah, it's either money's coming or like good luck.
Okay, hold on.
There's something good about it.
Let me look it up.
Look it up while I get into this first part. Dating all the way back to the 7th century BC, there is evidence of the first dentures that were made from a combination of human and animal teeth, mostly utilized by a group of people known as the Etruscans. The Etruscan civilization was developed by a people of Etruria in ancient Italy. The practice of dentures seemed to die out with their civilization. They made that first prototype that was found much later on, but never really was there any other sighting of any type of denture-like apparatus. So it died out with their civilization, but it resurfaced in the 1700s in Europe when the consumption of sugar was on the rise.
Sugar will do it.
All of the sudden, there was this massive uptick in tooth decay when sugar started getting popular. And obviously, this was way before the introduction of, root canals and modern dentistry as a whole. So people got really used to walking around with missing teeth. Hence, why they started to look for a solution. Dentures, but they were not the dentures that we see today.
Hold on, I gotta cut you off because no money's coming for you, okay?
Oh.
No good things are coming.
Oh.
Teeth falling out in dreams can mean you have a negative self-image. It also may represent a diminished well-being and self-image.
Oh, perfect. Anyways.
Hey.
So I guess it doesn't mean what I thought it meant.
Are you wrong?
No.
I'm gonna knock all the rest of your teeth out.
Oh, bitch, do it. According to SS Family Dentistry, today's dentures are primarily made from a hybrid composite of resin, generally acrylic. Acrylic is a strong, long-lasting plastic that offers a comfortable, lightweight feel, and because it's easy to shape to the impressions, users will generally achieve a comfortable fit with few adjustments needed. Acrylic is also not as hard as porcelain, so it won't cause any damage to the natural teeth, so it's a good option to use to create bridges or partials. One of the main reasons acrylic resin is so widely used is due to cost. Dentures made from acrylic are significantly less expensive than porcelain, making them more accessible. I mean, have you seen the prices on veneers?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, please, those will get you $1,200 a tooth.
Well, and they take your teeth down to little toothpicks.
They have overlay ones.
Oh, yeah.
That go on top of the teeth, and they don't actually have to do much to the natural teeth, which if I was ever going to do it, I think I would go with those ones.
Same. Because God forbid there's an apocalypse and I need to get a tooth fixed or something and I have little toothpick chompers.
Please. Also, this material can be used to make the plates or framework of the dentures, because plates that are made from acrylic can be tinted to look more like natural gums, so wearing dentures is less likely to be noticeable. While acrylic is definitely the more common material, porcelain is still used in some cases, especially when someone requires a full set of dentures. And this is a hard, highly durable ceramic material that has a similar feel and appearance to natural teeth, so wearers find it easier to adapt to them. However, they are heavy and cost prohibitive to many people, making them used only in specific situations. Porcelain dentures are often paired with a chrome or metal framework, which is both durable and can provide a more snug fit. But back in the day, they didn't have the same technology, right? So when it came to fitting and comfort, you pretty much threw those out the door for vanity, and they cost a pretty penny back in the day.
Oh, what did they do?
Well, originally they leaned on ivory as the main material to replace teeth, which is something that I've heard before.
Like tusks?
Yeah, coming from hippopotamus, walruses, elephants, for decades they did that, but the elite wanted human teeth. So the demand for human teeth was on the rise by the time the 1800s rolled around, and people would take some pretty extreme measures to get their hands on them. From putting out ads in the newspaper, just straight up offering money for teeth, and I mean, especially from the less fortunate. Grave robbing was a huge way for people to get teeth, but perhaps the most infamous was snatching them from the mouths of deceased soldiers at what was called the Battle of Waterloo. The Battle of Waterloo was fought on June 18th of 1815 between Napoleon's French army and a coalition led by the Duke of Wellington and Marshal Blucher. The decisive battle of its age, it concluded a war that had raged on for 23 years and ended the French's attempts to dominate Europe and destroyed Napoleon's imperial power forever.
Wow.
There were a lot of casualties in this battle. The Battle of Waterloo was a devastating event for the armies involved, as well as the village itself. The combined number of men killed or wounded reached nearly 50,000, with close to 25,000 casualties on the French side and approximately 23,000 for the Allied army. BBC published an awesome article where I learned more about this. They had a picture of a newspaper clipping from this time that said something like, "Several human teeth wanted. Apply to Mr. Wolfendale, dentist number 21, Dover Street, Piccadilly." I think it was from like February of 1792 or something. But like, yeah, they were really out there like, give us your teeth.
Give us your teeth.
Well, especially, I mean, not only from the less fortunate, but also from enslaved persons as well. They would take teeth. After the Battle of Waterloo in 1815, looters, scavengers, and even surviving soldiers began pulling the teeth out of dead soldiers on the battlefield. They'd sort them into sets and then sell them to dentists who would boil them, cut off their roots, and shape them into dentures. Fewer molars were taken from the battlefield because I guess they're trickier to pull out and they would require a lot more shaping by the dentist afterwards. You got like a front tooth that is gold back in that day. In addition to Waterloo teeth, this article says that many of the teeth used in dentures came from grave robbers early on. Apparently, most dentists didn't ask questions about the origin of their tooth supply. After all, this was an era before dentistry developed into a real medical practice, when wig makers, ivory turners, and blacksmiths would do dental work. And you could even get your dentures tightened by your local jeweler.
I love that.
Imagine, you're like, I'm here to pick up this gold chain, and also, can you do
My
something?
canine's a little loose.
In the early 19th century, everyone was dabbling in dentistry, and I just think it's wild. Like the history of teeth before dentists.
And the like barber surgeons and stuff. It's just wild.
Oh, so much weird shit. Well, wait till I tell you about exploding teeth.
Exploding?
Yes, baby. It's been reported that up to 75% of adults will suffer from some form of dentophobia throughout their lives. So apologies in advance, but this shit is insane. Back in the 19th century, there was this dentist in Pennsylvania named W.H. Atkinson who noticed a very bizarre and equally terrifying phenomenon occurring in several of his patients. He chronicled his findings in a major journal at the time called the Dental Cosmos and wrote about several of said patients. I obtained information from another BBC article where they report that he wrote about the three patients. The first was this man from Springfield, and it occurred in 1817. Quote, "The right superior canine, or first bicuspid, commenced aching, increasing in intensity to such a degree that set the man wild. During his agonies, he ran about here and there in the vain endeavor to obtain some respite, at one time boring his head on the ground like an enraged animal, and another poking it under the corner of a fence, and again going to the spring and plunging his head into the bottom of the cold water. All proved unavailing till 9 o'clock the next morning, as he was walking the floor in a wild delirium, and all at once a sharp crack, like a pistol shot, bursting his tooth to fragments, gave him instant relief.
I could picture that.
At this moment, he turned to his wife and said, 'My pain is all gone.' He went to bed, slept soundly all that day and most of the succeeding night, after which he was rational and well."
A toothache is no joke.
Oh, it's one of the most excruciating pains, in my opinion. When you have like an exposed nerve or anything fucked up with a tooth, like you feel it through your body.
Yeah. Anything in the head.
Uh-huh.
Anything from the neck up, it's like, or the
Oh.
jaw up, no thank you.
Oh, please. There's another story that happened to a woman nearby, I guess. Quote, 13 years after this distressing incident, something similar happened to a patient known as Mrs. Letitia D., who lived only a few miles away. She suffered a prolonged toothache, terminated by bursting with report, giving immediate relief as well, which is, I guess, a complicated old way of saying that, the same shit happened.
Wow.
Tooth broke. There was, quote, a sudden sharp report and instant relief, as in the other cases that happened with this other woman, Mrs. Anna P.A. It happened to her left superior canine tooth.
She is related to Philippia.
Yeah, she is living and healthy, the mother of a family of fine girls. But yeah, I guess like their teeth were just fucking exploding in their mouths, which is so wild to think about. You can get to like the pressure that you would feel.
I get it. Just split it, crack it, get it out.
Take it out. As for what caused these dramatic dental explosions, in his 1860 article, Atkinson offered two alternative explanations. The first was that a substance which he called free caloric was building up in the tooth and causing this dramatic increase of pressure in the pulp of the tooth. This hypothesis can be ruled out straight away, since it relies on an obsolete scientific theory. For many years, heat was believed to consist of a fluid called caloric, which was self-repelling. Though this would make a pressure increase plausible, we know that this fluid does not actually exist, so that one's not possible. Instead, it's now believed that the chemicals that they were using in early fillings could be to blame.
Explosive, probably.
In the 1830s, a wide variety of metals, including lead, silver, and various alloys, were used to fill dental cavities. Andrea Sella, the professor of inorganic chemistry at University College London, points out that if two different metals had been used, this would create an electrochemical cell, and effectively the whole mouth would be turned into a low-voltage battery. Because of the mixture of metals you have in the mouth, there might be spontaneous electrolysis. My favorite explanation is that if a filling were badly done so that the part of the cavity remained, that would mean the possibility of buildup of hydrogen within a tooth. An already weakened tooth might conceivably burst under this pressure, and the hydrogen could even explode if ignited, if the patient was smoking at the time, or if an iron filling caused a spark in the mouth.
Oh my God.
Sella concedes that this scenario is a little far-fetched. She said, "My feeling is that there wouldn't be a jet of flame coming from this Victorian gentleman's mouth."
But wait, remember with the spontaneous combustion?
Oh my God, yes. She's just like, oh.
Maybe.
There was that one story, who knows? She could have had a bad filling. I'm going to finish this off with some wacky tooth facts. Like, did you know that wisdom teeth are responsible for discovering the age of King Tut?
King Tut.
His wisdom teeth helped scientists determine that he was actually only around 19 years old at the time of his death, and some people even have multiple sets of wisdom teeth.
Wise.
So wise, baby. Or how about this one? There's an old wives' tale that to cure a toothache, you must kiss a donkey.
Oh, is that why people are trying to kiss me?
Yeah. The oldest known filling in the world is 6,500 years old, and it is made of beeswax. The filling belongs to a 24 to 30-year-old Neolithic man, and scientists believe that a vertical crack in one of his teeth had been fitted with the perfectly sized thin cap of beeswax, suggesting that Neolithic humans may have used the material to fill their cavities regularly while they were alive.
Wow.
Super smart.
He's the bee's knees.
Yeah, there's evidence that 14,000 years ago, humans removed decayed dental tissue using primitive tools. 5,000 years later, the first dental drill is believed to have been used in what is now Pakistan. The discovery was made in a Neolithic graveyard where at least 9 individuals evidenced use of a dental drill due to the precise holes in their molars. And then lastly is my favorite fact, which probably a lot of us have heard, but if you've been particularly aggressive giving blowjobs, your soft palate, aka the roof of your mouth, will show signs of bruising and irritation, and it's known as palatal petechia in the dental industry.
Oh my God.
The dentist knows if you've been sucking dick.
Wow. Yeah. It'll bruise?
I guess so.
I mean, guess if it's real hard.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Amazing. And that is my little truths on the tooths, baby.
Oh, well, thank you. I usually hate going to the dentist, but this was enjoyable.
Oh, what an experience. All right, well, let's take another quick break, and then I want to hear what had you spinning in your coffin, girly. We'll be right back. And we're back. Madison, what had you spinning in your coffin this week? Aside from whatever is in that NyQuil bottle you've been chugging every night.
Would it be October if we didn't talk about the Victorians?
Oh, we gotta.
We have got to. Spencer has covered Victorian post-mortem photography in an episode called OBITCH, Say Cheese. So if you haven't listened to that, go listen to that. But we are going to talk about photography again today, but Victorian spirit photography.
Okay, I saw a few inklings of this when I was researching death photography, and I cannot wait to hear this because I've always wanted to do more of a deep dive, and now I don't have to.
Yes. Okay. So before I did the deep dive, I was like, there's no way I can do a full coffin spinner on this. Like, I'm sure there's not a lot of information. It's just a spirit in a photograph.
We need to do like a mashup episode one day of all the things that we want to talk about, but we aren't long enough for a coffin spinner because that's the worst when you find something and you're like,
This is so cool, but I know
Yeah.
we totally should.
that'd be a fun idea maybe for a Halloween episode.
Ooh. But you know what? I was pleasantly surprised. There's so much information on this, so much more in depth, scandals, everything.
Amazing.
Attached to this.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so just to give a little context, the first camera was invented in 1816. Our story is going to take place in 1862. So cameras are still a pretty new thing.
They were made out of teeth from
Ex-
soldiers.
And hair. So it's just pretty crazy. We are going to talk about William H. Mumler. He lived in Boston. He was working as a silver engraver of jewelry at the time, like around 1850, 1860.
Okay.
But he had gotten into photography. It was kind of his like side thing that he liked to do. He was a total amateur and would just mess around with it when he had time. On October 5th of 1861, he was messing around with it and took a selfie. Back in the day, and even sometimes now, if you take a photo and your exposure is slow or your exposure is open a long time, you get a really blurry image.
How about the fact that what we like to do, where we like to turn on the panoramic setting on our cell phone cameras and take fucked up pictures of each other?
If you guys haven't done that, take a panorama of your best friend.
Make them lay on the ground, turn it on the panoramic setting, and just quickly like shift your hand. You'll get the most crazy pictures you've ever seen in your life.
Crazy. We have done it. We do it a lot.
Yeah. It doesn't take much. But he would get these altered photos from the cameras.
Well, so he tried to get a really sharp image of himself. And how you would do that is you would, set up your camera. You would click the camera to take the photo. You'd run to the spot where you were wanting the photo taken. You'd have to sit there still for a minute and then run back out of the photo to check it or whatever. To his surprise, he was very clear, but he wasn't the only one in the photo.
A ghost?
Okay, not only a ghost, his dead cousin who died 12 years ago was sitting at a table next to him in the photo.
What were they doing there?
I don't know. The photo, I'll post it. It is him standing next to a table and chairs, and in the chair is a woman in a white dress, and she's see-through, and it just happened to be his cousin.
Oh my God.
I read a book. It's a book by Lewis Kaplan called The Strange Case of William Mumler, spirit photographer, and it recounts a ton of stories in it of him. So I'm going to quote quite a bit from there.
Okay.
There was a quote in the book of William Mumler talking about this exact photo. He said, "This photograph was taken of myself by myself on Sunday when there was not a living soul in the room beside me, so to speak. The form on my right I recognize as my cousin who passed away about 12 years since." So his mind is blown. The Victorians, we know, were obsessed with death and spiritualism. Also, around the time the American Civil War was going on, and there were so many lives lost. It was extremely tragic, and people were just looking for a way to connect with their dead loved ones. He became extremely popular. He had people lining up to get their photos taken. So he quit engraving and became a full-time photographer. He would charge up to $10 for one, which I did one of those calculators online for currency, and it would be about $357 today for one photo. In that book, there are accounts of people. It says a widow lady who was accompanied to the rooms by her mother and a daughter sat for her picture, and that of a spirit also. When it was finished, the daughter first saw it and instantly exclaimed, bursting into tears, "Why, mother, this is father." The grandmother looked at it next and exclaimed, Yes, this is my daughter's husband. And the mother then looked and said, this is my husband. All were weeping at the truthful likeness of a spirit.
Wow.
One lady was very skeptical. She said that she believed the artist used an old glass plate on which there was another picture and perfectly washed off. The artist requested her to furnish her own glass with a mark on it by which she should know it. She did so, and to her unbounded surprise, there was not only a picture of herself upon it, but also a picture of a dear departed friend. And then another one, Mr. Taylor of Indiana sat for a picture, mentally requesting that the picture of his little child, recently deceased, might be made sitting upon his hand, which he held in position for that purpose. The picture revealed himself, and his mental request answered. The spirit child was pictured sitting on his hand and leaning its little face against his own. And Mumler didn't know that. It was a request that Mr. Taylor didn't tell. All of the spirit photographs that William Mumler had produced have been a complete mystery, but there were a ton of skeptics, and he actually invited one to come and watch his whole process. In that book again, it says, quote, Mr. Mumler invited me to bring my own glass on which to make the picture, to examine the camera, its tubes and lenses, his chemicals, to see him apply the collodion to the glass and immerse it in the silver bath, to see him take it out of the bath and put it in the shield, then into the camera, and then to go with him into the dark closet, lighted only by a little lamp, and see him take the glass from the shield, which is a little dark box, then pour on an iron preparation, wash it under a stream of water, and then hold it to the little lamp and see the picture of a mortal and a spirit on it.
Oh my God, a process.
I know, if you know anything about developing film, I mean, I couldn't even imagine in the 1800s. In compliance with this invitation, I carefully observed all above operations in detail. Mr. Mumler asks for a fair investigation that shall convince the people that his claims are just and genuine, and they were.
Whoa.
Absolutely were. This was all great. However, there were still skeptics, and there were some shady things that happened. One man walked into Mumler's studio and was looking at some of the spirit photography that he had taken. He then noticed that one of those photos had his wife in it, but his wife was a spirit in the photo, and his wife was fucking alive.
Oh.
But his wife had gotten photos taken there before there was any spirit photography. So it's like, was he taking an old photo and putting it on something?
Like double exposure.
Who knows? Although he and his wife had a ton of believers, they were like, we're going to get out of town and we're going to go to New York and just try to make it work there. They did this in 1868. In 1869, he was arrested and put on trial for fraud because of the spirit photography. People were not having it. Prosecutors brought in a ton of experts who tried to show the jurors how this could have gone down. 9 different processes were written out, and they are pretty crazy. One was like, he's got to be able to put a little picture of the spirit into a little hole, like a secret hole in the camera. And maybe a person dressed in all white comes behind the person being photographed, taking positives and negatives. Like, there was a lot of processes that did produce spirit photography, but the problem was that they could not figure out how he did it. Like, they couldn't in court say, okay, well, this is his process.
Oh.
So he was acquitted. They even brought on P.T. Barnum of Barnum and Bailey, the circus guy, as a witness because he was like, I'm a bullshitter. I can smell bullshit.
Okay.
So they brought him on, but Mumler was acquitted. He and his wife went back to producing spirit photography, and in 1872, a very famous person called him. Mary Todd Lincoln, the widow of Abraham Lincoln, gave Mumler a call and wanted to have her spirit photo taken. Mary was very interested in spiritualism after losing her son Willie, her son Tad, and then of course her husband. So she kind of like went on a little spiritual journey. She went to New York and had a seance and had seen one of her sons during it. She then went to another seance and felt her husband there, and then rounded it out by having her picture taken by William Mumler.
I love that she was like down for it.
I know. And she got exactly what she needed in the photo that was taken. She is sitting, and Lincoln's ghost has his arms on her shoulders looking down at her.
I want to see.
We'll post that.
Wait, show me.
That
I mean, that's
amazing?
him.
I know. Mumbler, they could not decide. Nobody could catch him. So
What if his wife was like dressed up as Abraham Lincoln, like background, just popping in?
who knows? Who knows how he did it? But
Wild.
yeah, so we don't know. He never confessed to anything. He did, however, destroy all of his negatives before he died. So maybe there's something there.
He just wanted the positives.
He just, you know what? He was optimistic. He was a positive girly. One other spirit photographer I want to talk about is William Hope. He was a carpenter turned spirit photographer. He lived in England. In 1905, he was like William Mumbler, just messing around with his camera. He took a photo of a friend, and in it, another presence was there. The presence was of William Hope's friend's sister who had previously died. He went on to form a spiritualist group called Crew Circle, and he was the leader of it. This group grew pretty big. The author of Sherlock Holmes was even a supporter of William Hope.
Ooh.
Again, there was a lot of skepticism around spirit photography. However, another major war had just finished, World War I. So many people were just trying to deal with their grief and be close to their loved ones in some sort of way. Around that time is like when William Hope really started doing his spirit photography.
Okay.
But unlike Mumbler, he was exposed a ton of times. The first time he was exposed was in 1920. A man named Edward Bush apparently mailed Hope a picture of his deceased son. Well, Edward Bush didn't tell Hope that the photo that he mailed in was not of his deceased son. It was actually a living person, but somehow that spirit showed up in the photo. And then one of the biggest exposures that Hope had was in February of 1922. A man named Harry Price was sent to research Mr. Hope. Harry Price is one of the most famous ghost hunters probably ever. He has hunted people who were frauds, and he was just determined to take frauds down. Price was sent by the Society of Psychical Research to investigate and debunk his process. Price secretly took Hope's plates, like the plates from inside the camera, and marked them. When the picture came back without that marking, it proved that he had switched the plates.
Oh.
Even after being exposed, Hope still had a lot of followers, and he kept photographing until he died in 1933. Now, Mumbler's story just really fucks me up because I'm like, nobody could prove it even in a court case.
Uh-huh.
Regardless of whether any of this is real or not, the photos are absolutely incredible, and
Oh, I love them.
I want one.
Oh, but I totally would have done it. Like I paid $60, I think, recently just to get like one of those Aura Polaroids taken. I'll do it. I love it.
I know.
Why not? Get down with the kitsch.
It's art.
It's like whether or not you believe in mediums or psychics. It's like, let people do whatever makes them feel good and what they feel like doing.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? What are we, a moral compass?
I don't know, but if I went to Mumbler and was like, take my picture, and a loved one showed up in the photo, I would love it.
Ugh.
That would bring me so much comfort.
Yes.
So, fuck off.
Oh, please.
Oh,
Well,
please.
I bet a lot of these people in these death photographs had some, well, actually during this time period, they probably had some pretty wild death notices written about them, but we're going to get into some obituaries now. And like you said, it's spooky season, Madison, so who better to memorialize than Mr. Edgar Allan Poe?
Oh my gosh, I have not even thought about him for an obituary.
You're never thinking of him.
No, but you know what? He doesn't feel like a real person to me.
Well, he was. He was a very real person, but I know. It's like one of those names where you're like, we've heard it so much, we're like, is this a real person?
Right.
Well, there's a little bit of like sass to this obituary.
Ooh.
I'm reading this one from the parisreview.org, and it says, Edgar Allan Poe died in Baltimore on Sunday last. And this obituary in particular was everywhere, so I'm assuming that multiple pages printed this. But it says, he was one of the very few original minds that this country has produced. In the history of literature, he will hold a certain position and a high place. By the public of the day, he is regarded rather with curiosity than with admiration. Many will be startled, but few will be grieved by the news. He had very few friends, and he was the friend of very few, if any. But his character and adventures were too remarkable, and his literary merits too indubitable, to pass from the stage with the simple announcement already given. Many will be startled, but few will be grieved by the news.
God.
A little scathing, if you ask me. His family was a very respectable one in Baltimore, and his grandfather was a quartermaster general in the Revolution and the esteemed friend of Lafayette. During the last visit of that personage to this country, he called up the widow to tender her his acknowledgments for services rendered him by her husband. His great-grandfather married a daughter of the celebrated Admiral McBride. Through him, they are related to many of the most illustrious families in England. Edgar Poe's father was reputably brought up and educated, becoming enamored with a beautiful young actress. He made up a runaway match with her and was disowned by his friends thereafter. He or his wife lived precariously. They came to Richmond in pursuit of their profession. She was somewhat of a favorite on our boards, but more on account of her beauty rather than her acting, and they both died in Richmond, both of consumption, which we know,
Tuberculosis.
and within a few weeks of each other, and left here without a house or home their gifted but most miserable and unfortunate son.
God.
Mr. John Allen, a wealthy and kind-hearted merchant of this place, having no children of his own, taking a natural fancy to the handsome, clever child, adopted him as son and heir. He was consequently brought up amidst luxury and received the advantages of education to their fullest extent. In 1816, he accompanied his adopted parents in a tour through England, Scotland, and Ireland. They returned to this country, leaving him at Dr. Bransby's High School, Stoke Newington, near London, where he continued 5 years. He returned in 1822 and continued about Richmond for 2 or 3 years. He was then remarkable for his general cleverness. In 1825, he went to the University of Virginia. The university was then a most dissolute place, where Mr. Edgar A. Poe was remarked as the most dissolute and dissipated youth in the university. He was already a great classical scholar, and he made huge strides in mathematics, botany, and other branches of natural science. But at the same time, he drank, gambled, and indulged in other vices until he was expelled from the place. On Mr. Allen's refusal to pay off some of his gambling debts, he broke with him and went off at a tangent to join the Greeks, those being the times of the Bazaars and the Greek Revolution. In 1829, he entered the military academy of West Point. In the meantime, Mr. Allen had lost his first wife and married a woman by his junior by a very great number of years, he being 65, but it doesn't say how old she was. Mr. Poe is said to have behaved uncivilly to the lady and to have ridiculed the match. The old gentleman wrote him angry letters, and Mr. Poe answered with a very bitter one. The breach was never healed, and Mr. Allen died a short time afterwards, leaving Poe nothing. So Edgar Allan Poe, I guess his parents died when he was super young, was adopted by this wealthy man because that guy didn't have any kids. And then when that guy's wife died, he was dating this much younger woman, and Edgar Allan Poe was like, what are you doing? And ended up getting cut out of the will.
Ooh.
Mr. Poe left West Point without graduating, and here commenced his disastrous battle of life. In 1831, he printed a small volume of poems, his first brochure. They were favorably received by the reviewers and well spoken of by their few readers, but they did not sell. He wrote for newspapers, compiled and translated for booksellers, made up brilliant articles for reviews, and spun tales for magazines, but although publishers willingly put forth, they paid the man so little that in poverty and despair he got abundantly near enough to death's door to hear the hinges creak. And then it kind of gets into his career, how he started writing and publishing poems and whatnot, and how he got this job writing for a magazine called The Messenger. And it says after editing The Messenger a year and a half, he removed to Philadelphia and edited The Gentleman's Magazine, which, for this last, he always continued to write and to be paid well thereafter. In 1840, he published his Tales of the Grotesque and Arabesque. In 1844, we find him in New York editing the Broadway Journal. In 1845, the well-known volumes by Wiley and Putnam made their appearance. He continued to issue many things, which we shall notice more fully hereafter until 1847. We then hear of his wife dying in a state of great destitution at a place called Fordham near New York. A subscription was gotten up to relieve him by the literatures of New York and was easily raised. We next hear of him through the newspapers, again at death's door, but this time with delirium tremens. A bitter note through the same vehicles of intelligence in answer to the various inquiries made about about him, announced his contempt for all who profess themselves his friends, and his general disgust with the world, which I love, and part of the reason I had to read this whole thing. But he seems to have suffered nothing farther from destitution, his literary labors bringing him enough. For the last 2 years, he has been seen now and then about Richmond, generally in a state very unbecoming to a man of genius. But during his visit, for nearly 2 months' duration, he has been perfectly himself, neatly dressed, and exceedingly agreeable in his deportment. He delivered 2 lectures worthy of his genius in its best moods. It was universally reported that he was engaged to be married. The lady was a widow of wealth and beauty, who was an old flame of his, and whom he declared to be the ideal and original of his Lenore. But death cut him short in Baltimore. The newspapers say he died of congestion of the brain. Of Mr. Poe's genius and personal characteristics, we shall treat fully in our next.
Oh, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, girly Poe.
Famous girly.
Very famous girly. What you got?
I have a woman. Her picture looks like she belongs in Romy and Michelle's high school reunion. I love her. Her name is Romy Hunt Revson, and she is the creator of the scrunchie, which we all know and love, and I feel like it's like made such a huge comeback. This obituary says, Romy renting a house in Southampton, New York in 1986, stressed from her recent divorce from a Revlon heir, John Revson, when she conceived of a hairband to hold a ponytail without damaging the hair. I don't know why, but I became somewhat determined to figure out an invention that used fabric instead of plastic for the hair. Miss Revson told Talk Business and Politics, a news website in Arkansas, where she lived briefly in 2016. My friends tried to get me to put that down and go with them to the beach as summer was about to end, she added, but something told me to keep working on this hair accessory. She bought a used sewing machine, taught herself to sew, and combined fabric and elastic, like those in her pajamas, into a prototype of which she called a scrunchie, naming it after her poodle. Within a year, she got a design patent which protected how it looked but not how it was made, and found a licensee. The scrunchie soon became better known as the scrunchie, the ubiquitous, inexpensive hair accessory of the late 1980s and 90s that was worn by millions of women. Her woman's fashion sense saw the potential in it going from a utilitarian hair holder to a fashion item. Miss Revson died on September 7th in a hotel room near the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, where she was being treated for Cushing's disease and Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which affected the body's connective tissue, like the skin, joints, and blood vessel walls, said her cousin Charles. Her estate lawyer said the case of death was a ruptured ascending aorta. She lived in Wellington, Florida, near West Palm Beach. Romy was born on February 15, 1944 in White Plains, New York, to William and Rose Kolb. Her father was a painting contract, her mother a homemaker. Miss Revson worked in Lord & Taylor and other stores in Manhattan in the 1960s. In the 1970s and early 80s, she was a singer, songwriter, and voice teacher. She adopted the surname Hunt and sang at Manhattan clubs like Ibis, Reno Sweeney, and Snafu. When she made her debut at Reno Sweeney in 1979, the critic John S. Wilson of the New York Times wrote, "As a singer, she has range, control, and a fine sense of shading. As a performer, she projects strongly and on a variety of levels." The gossip columnist Earl Wilson noted in 1982 that Miss Revson had returned to sing at Abyss after 3 years and was good to our eyes and ears. But she disliked the nighttime lifestyle and eventually left singing. With the scrunchie, she found a new direction, though she was not, it seems, the first to develop something like her patent creation. By some accounts, a man named Philip Myers came up with a similar one in 1963, but it did not catch on. Once Miss Revson's product reached the market, it proved to be very popular, but her licensee at the time could not manage the quick surge of orders and went out of business. Copycat manufacturers flooded the market with what came to be called scrunchies. I thought I would be a bag lady 10 years from now saying, "Hey, I invented these."
I love it. And also, I'm only referring to scrunchies as scrunchies now.
I need my scrunchie.
Girlie, can I borrow a scrunchie?
I need my scrunchie. Gee, I mean, if that's not an inspiration.
Oh, she's well-rounded, and so are we, bitch. Look at us. We got Edgar Allan. We have a show where we're talking about Edgar Allan Poe in 1 second. Next thing, we're talking about the squunchy
The
inventor.
squunchy lady.
I love it. Love this. Love that. And we've spun in our coffins.
We've bitched our obituaries.
And we haven't fucking passed out yet.
Oh my God. About to.
Oh my God. Well, I guess that means it's time for some dumb
Ass
criminals. And my dumbass criminal is a higher up at Beyond Meat.
Oh, okay.
You know, like the plant-based.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is fucking crazy. Did you hear this? It just broke in the news this week. Beyond Meat operating chief Doug Ramsey was suspended this week.
Okay.
After being arrested on Saturday for doing probably one of the least vegan things you can do. The company,
Oh, no.
the 53-year-old was charged with terroristic threatening and third-degree battery and booked in the Washington County Jail after allegedly assaulting a driver in the parking garage near Razorback Stadium. But wait for it. He allegedly punched through the back windshield of a Subaru after it had bumped the front tire of his car.
What?
And according to preliminary police reports obtained by CNBC, the Subaru owner got out of his car and Ramsey allegedly started punching him and then bit his nose, quote, ripping the flesh off of the tip of his nose.
No. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God. So I don't know what's in those Impossible Burgers.
It is beyond.
It's Beyond Meat. It's nose meat, baby.
I need it. I need the extra oomph.
Who you got for us?
Oh my God. Okay. I have a dumb criminal sent in from a Geoff, Laura.
Laura, what'd you send in?
All right. So this happened in Ireland of this year, January. In Gardaí, a man entered a post office on Staplestown Road on a Friday in January around 11:30. He spoke to a staff member and was there to collect a pension payment on behalf of someone else.
Okay.
But the staff was like, the actual person has to be here to collect that. So he's like, okay, I'll be right back. So he returned shortly with two other men. One of them was his friend, and then the other one was a man in his 60s. The man in the 60s was the one who was there that was his pension payment to collect.
So he's there to collect the pension payment for this elderly man, and they're like, you need him here
exactly
to collect it for him. And then so he goes, he gets him, brings him back.
All good, right? Well, the staff was like, something's not right about that old man. Like, there's just something's wrong. So they were like, we're not handing anything over.
His teeth were exploding.
His teeth were exploding. He had a camera with him saying he's taking pictures of ghosts. No, he was dead.
I'm sorry, what?
He was dead, and the two younger men ran away and left him.
They left the body?
Post office.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Wait, what is that movie? Weekend at Bernie's?
It was fully Weekend at Bernie's. Okay, so what makes it crazier is that one of the men was related to him. He has been identified as his 40-year-old nephew. And from the Daily Mail, there's a quote from the nephew saying, looking back at what happened, I think he died at the bridge because his legs suddenly went limp, but myself and Gareth had no idea he passed away because this has happened a number of times before. The nephew is now being targeted by locals and is getting just the shit kicked out of him, I guess. He's getting like shit talked to him. People are calling him a murderer. He was a pallbearer at the uncle's funeral. But I just can't help but think you're a dumbass criminal and you probably were trying to get that money.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what was happening.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my
Imagine.
God. The shit people think they can get away with.
Oh, God.
Not on our watch.
Not on our watch. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, I think we've talked ourselves out. We both, I think, need some serious rest. So we'll be back next week. You can follow along online, Instagram.com/obituarypod. And same for Twitter. And then if you want to follow us on TikTok, that is at Obituary Podcast.
And our P.O. Box is P.O. Box 18149, Long Beach, California, 90807. What else?
Oh, if you feel so inclined to leave us a review
Oh my God, we need them.
of the 5-star variety.
Of the 5-star variety, yes.
Anything less, we don't want it. Just keep it to yourself.
Yeah, sorry.
No, but for real, that's it for this week. We'll see you next time with some more coffin spinners
Obituaries
and dumb
ass
criminals. Goodbye.
Bye.